What's up, guys? How's it going? It is Matt here. Tonight I'm actually going to do a video about another concealed carry tips. I've been getting a couple questions from people about small to back carry, and they're like, "Hey, Matt, do you recommend small to back carry?" Or other ones like, "Hey, how come you didn't say anything about small to back holsters? Those are some pretty good holsters too." Or comments like that. And so I wanted to address this a little bit because there's a reason I don't mention small of the back carry. That's because I don't recommend it. Personally, I think it's one of the worst ways you could possibly carry a firearm from personal experience, all right? So when I first carried a concealed firearm, it was actually a Glock 22 when I actually first started carrying. It was a Gen 3 Glock 22. I had no formal training when it came to concealing a firearm. I wasn't watching YouTube videos about it or anything like that, so I wasn't quite sure how I should go about carrying it. So what I did is I did exactly what a lot of other people do. They go and they take a look at Hollywood videos, Lethal Weapon movies and TV shows, and Speed was known, the very first Speed. Keanu Reeves had it on the small of his back. There's a lot of movies that always show the hero carrying a pistol in the small of his back. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple benefits that could come if I didn't hate it so much. There's a couple benefits that could come from small back carry, which means basically you can reach it with both hands. That's it. All right, that's the only benefit that you can get from it. And all the other non-benefits from it, all the other reasons you shouldn't do it, trump the small to back carry one. All right, the reasons behind that, guys, is it came to my mind finally one time. Is I was actually came home and I still had my Glock in the small of my back. I sat down a little too fast in a chair and I got a shooting tingly feeling going up and down my spine. It was just like, oh, and it hurt. And I was just like, man, that hurt. And I'm like, ow. Because you think about it, you got a big, heavy duty hunk of hard material or metal or whatever you're carrying in the small of your back, all right? Literally sitting on your spine. I mean, like literally on your spine, all right? So the thought occurred to me that I'm like, okay, that hurt. What happens if I fall down? What happens if I get into a skirmish or a struggle and get knocked backwards, all right? What happens is if I'm working and I fall off of something and I land on my back, what happens? And then the thought started occurring to me like, you know what? This is probably not a good way to carry a firearm for safety reasons. Now, every way you carry a firearm, everyone's like, well, if you carry it like this, it's bad. If you carry it like this, it's bad. There's no perfect way to carry a firearm, guys. There's the dangerous way, then there's the less dangerous ways, all right? No matter what you do, if you have a negligent discharge or something, you're going to get injured, all right? But say if I'm carrying Appendix, for example, and I fall face first, belly first onto it, it's gonna freaking hurt. I mean, it is going to hurt, all right? If I fall on the side, which I've done before, and had it hurts, all right? It hurts. It leaves a bruise, a deep bruise. But if you fall on the small of your back when it's sitting on your spine, you get paralyzed, all right? You could literally get paralyzed. Now, I remember watching a video. It was actually a police chase a long time ago. Now, a police officer didn't have a pistol in the small of his back or anything. But, when adrenaline's pumping and, stuff's going on, you don't always make the right decisions and you don't always look before you leap, we'll call it that. This police officer was chasing someone. I don't remember what state it is or town or whatever. He was chasing a suspect, and the suspect just jumped over a fence, saw a fence and jumped over the fence and kind of disappeared. And without even hesitating, the police officer followed, and all you hear is just screaming down there. They literally fell like 15 to 20 feet straight drop down because they jumped into an area that was basically a drop, and they didn't even look before they went. Now, both had serious injuries. I don't remember broken bones. I remember what the injuries were. Now, imagine what would happen if he had a pistol in the small of his back and he fell on it. He would be paralyzed for the rest of his life, all right? So, there's so many times I've seen, even, when I was training in the Marine Corps and stuff like that, whenever you're in a up close and person fight, you're either going to get thrown down face first or you're going to get knocked down on your back, all right? So if you're struggling with someone and you fall down onto your back onto a hard surface, even a soft surface, I mean, it's going to do damage. It will do damage, all right? So that is just the medical reasons why you probably should not ever carry a pistol in the small of your back. It doesn't matter what cant the pistol is in the small of your back. It is still on your spine, and if you fall, you are going to get seriously injured with it. So now let's go to the actual concealment, or say non-concealment of the issue. All right. So when you were trying to conceal a firearm in the small of your back, you think about it for a second, it kind of makes sense because everyone's back is a little bit concave, right? So you figure if it's right in the small of your back, even if you have like love handles or something like that, your shirt should easily cover over it. And don't get me wrong, it conceals pretty well in the small of your back until you move, until you tie your shoe, until you reach for something on a shelf, until you stretch for a second. And then no matter how good you're concealing it, how deep it's concealed, no matter what cant of the holster it's going to be, your shirt, no matter how long it is going to reach up and it's going to land on the pistol grip in your back, and the pistol on your back is going to be exposed. All right. Now, when I first started working for, it was a company, an oil company that I started working for. Very first day, all right, very first day on the job, I was actually assigned to another service technician. We were actually cleaning boilers on the day. It was not a fun day. Cleaning boilers, if anyone's done before, freaking sucks, all right? So we were actually cleaning boilers that day, and we had to make a stop at one of our offices. It was a total of 3 offices. So we made a stop at the office, and he actually was introducing me to the supervisor of the office. He's also one of the head technicians and stuff like that, and oil tech driver and all that other stuff. We met him. He was in the back. He was filling up a bucket with water. And the second we met him, I knew he was carrying a gun. You know how I know? Because he was bending over, pouring into the bucket, and you could see clear as day his button-up shirt had exposed his 6 Sauer P229, which was sitting right there on the small of his back. And you could look at it clear as day. You could see it from a distance. It's just like, yeah. And he didn't even realize it was being exposed. So I was just like, yeah. I'm like, well, it looks like guns are okay here. But then I found out the policy says, just like other places, we don't recommend it and we don't want you to. And you could get terminated for it anyway. So you take a look, it's 100% exposed. Every time this guy would show up on a job, he would always show his firearm, all right? And I'm not talking pick it up because he carried it in the small of his back, all right? I remember any outside job, if you had to crawl under something, whether it's a crawl space, you're just crawling down to do something, or you're setting up poses, he gets down there, it doesn't matter what he's wearing, a coat, a jacket, it comes up, hey, today he's wearing his Ruger, cool. Hey, today he's wearing his Burst of Thunder, oh, okay. Hey, today he's wearing his SIG again, it was just like, no matter what he did, you'd see it. Now, there's this one job, which was, I just remember, clear as day, all right, clear as day. We were out there doing work on an underground propane line. We're just doing our thing, just minding our own business. And the same guy that's been carrying the small of his back, he shows up and he's doing the final inspections and stuff like that. He's down there bending over, taking care of stuff, and we couldn't even react. The property owner comes out, and we see him look at the guy doing the final check, and his eyes went exactly to what we saw too, his pistol. His eyes were straight on it, on a property, on someone's own personal property, all right? He didn't say anything, but we know exactly what happened because we saw him get nervous. We saw him start putting his hands in his pocket and be like, and just kind of look around and whatever. And then from there, after he's like, oh, how's everything going and stuff like that, we're like, oh, we're doing great. That's when the guy finally decided to get up and, fix the shirt a little bit and talk to him nicely. And the guy, no matter what he did, you just saw this almost disrespect for him. He was just uncomfortable around him because he was just watching him with his pistol just sticking out from the small of his back, all right? So then he goes inside, and we tell the guy afterwards, like, dude, your freaking pistol was showing. And he's just like, huh? And he didn't even realize it because he just didn't even realize it. He was doing it for so long. Now, this is a guy that wasn't exactly the smartest guy when it comes to carrying or whatever. I mean, you'd see him sometimes drunk and he'd be carrying, and we'd have to actually confront him about it, all right? So from the get-go, this guy wasn't probably the best guy to be carrying a firearm. But at the same time, guys, it's your right, but what the hell, guys? You're on someone's private property. Do you really want to be showing them that you're carrying a firearm, especially for a company that specifically has a policy saying you probably shouldn't, all right? So, just some food for thought out there, guys. No matter what you do, no matter how you carry the pistol, if you are carrying in a small of your back, it is going to be exposed. And in some states, if you're carrying a concealed firearm and it's exposed, even accidentally, that can be considered brandishing a firearm, all right? It can be considered brandishing the firearm. He's lucky he didn't lose his job that day, all right? He's lucky he didn't lose that job. I don't know if the guy filed a report or not. I mean, this guy was high enough on the food chain in the company that, if something happened, he'd just get a slap on the wrist. But at the same time, it's just like if it happened to someone like me or someone else, we'd probably get fired right there on the spot because the homeowner, property owner, or whatever, is staring right at it. I mean, look, guys, there's a difference between plumber's crack and small of the back crack, all right? So if you are carrying on the small of your back, regardless of the holster count, regardless of the quality of the holster, it's going to do a couple things. One, you can get injured from it. You can get seriously injured from it. Or two, no matter what happens, you're going to brandish that firearm. You're going to show it to everyone that's around you guys. It is what it is. If you carry in the small of your back, the firearm is going to be exposed. All right, it just is. All right. So anyway, for those guys that were asking, what do I think about small to back carry or why I don't recommend them? There's your answer, guys. Because it's not a good way to carry it. Personally, I think it's the stupidest way to carry because it can seriously cause body harm. I mean, you have a higher chance of falling on your back than you do of having a negative discharge into your body. All right, so it's dangerous. All right, and it can't be concealed. I mean, you just can't conceal there. It seems like a good idea, and Hollywood makes it, seem like an awesome idea. But when you actually do it, yeah, you start finding pretty quickly that no, this isn't concealing a firearm at all. All right. So there you have it, guys. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Comment below. If you want me to respond to any other questions or recommendations, just go ahead and let me know, guys. Anyway, guys, I'll see you. Peace.